Okay, so today we're going to work on putting the greenery up here, and then maybe a little bit of color as well with the green. And then we'll just add the greens this on the rest of the pots. Okay, so I have here sap green. So sap green, it is a very nice green. It's a beautiful green, and we really don't have to tone it down with any other color usually. But I like to do that to make it more earthy, more not as bright. But we will use it without anything as well after when we start highlighting. So for now, we are working on a dark background. So this is green, sap green, and this is cadmium red light, or any light, any red, because red and green are opposite each other on the color wheel. So they do gray each other. If you mix an even amount of red and green, you will get a brown. Margaret, you'll get a raw umber. We were talking about raw umber. There you go. Anyway,
Very cool.
Yeah. So I like to mix a bit of this color, a little bit of red in my greens. Now, we have done this already up here, so we don't really have to mix it again. We do have a dark green, also because the background is green. So now what I can do is just take yellow. Let's keep it really simple. Take yellow, any yellow you have. I'm using cadmium yellow light because usually I cadmium yellow light, and I like to use yellow ochre as well. Yellow ochre is a nice color with sap green. But now we're just going to keep it simple. Let's take some of the cadmium yellow light. We'll go medium tone. So we have dark here. We're going to go medium. You don't want to go you don't want to highlight right away. And with I'm going to use a round brush. Any brush will do. You can switch to this one. Use the corner if I want a bright. And I'm just going to do this. You don't want to lose the green, all of the green in there. You want to keep some of it showing. It will dry darker. That's okay. We need that. We need the slight difference in values from dark to medium to light. I don't want to highlight right away. It's too much. It's too strong to highlight from dark to light. See, now I'm not doing any, there's no specific, there's no leaves, nothing. It's just a mass of color. Okay, now I'm going to take more of the yellow. Mix it in my green. Same brush. See, now I'm being a little bit more careful because I don't want to lose the darks and the medium color or the medium tone I put in there. I don't want to lose it completely. So I keep in mind that, oops, see now, look at this. This is a very big blob in here. So let's take a bit of darks and put it in here. Ah, that's better. The other thing I try to do is to keep an eye on shape. See, look at this right now. This is a square. Okay, because once you start highlighting, you can see the shape. You create a shape, you can see it. With the dark colors, you don't see it much. So I keep an eye on the shape I'm creating here. I'm going to work slowly. There, I got rid of it. Right there. So I can still see the dark, medium, light. All right, let's do this again here. We can put flowers if we want, or we can just leave it like that. I'm grabbing a bit more yellow here and there, just to punch it up a bit. I'm trying not to get a brush stroke that goes in the same direction. It's very easy to do that. Okay, that's good. Okay, let's go to medium tone or highlight, actually. Highlight, not medium tone, highlight. Oops. It will dry darker. And that's okay, because I don't want everything to show, Not everywhere. There are some areas where we have a focal point and some areas that are not focal point.
No. Yeah, hello. All my cards finished because I'm lost my other cards. So just a moment.
Okay, now I'm going to take some yellow, just yellow. Oh, pushing my yellow into the green a bit, and a couple of those yellow dots. All right, that's enough. It's more than enough for this part. I'm gonna pause. Okay, so now what we're gonna do before we do anything is just place some green in those pots, and I'm using sap green, a little bit of red in there, just a bit. Don't put too much red in your sap green, because red is really strong, so it might change the color of the sap green into brown. Okay, let's go with the corner of the brush. This is a bright or flat, and with the corner of the brush, I'm just going to put some green. Fill the green. Fill it. Fill it with green, especially the center. The outside is okay. Outside the... what I'm trying to do with this green is... Here, let's take a bit of this green, sap green, and let's take Payne's Gray. Just because I want to change the green a bit, not for a specific reason. And let's do this here. Again, you're not going to see the brush stroke until I start highlighting. I'm just filling it. Okay, there we go. I try to keep the edges fluffy. You don't want a harsh edge. It helps that the background is green already. Okay. Oh, still one more. And this one here. Okay, now let's paint both vases or containers with Payne's Gray and white. The only reason I'm using Payne's Gray and white is just I don't want to use any specific strong color, because we're going to be putting flowers in there. We're going to be putting some colors in there. So there's no need for strong colors. Let's put this one here. And then you can see it too. Between all of the orange that we're going to put for the terracotta pots, this blue is nice, because I usually, what I do is with my terracotta pots, I like to add a bit of orange in there, and blue and orange are opposite each other on the color wheel. That's good. Okay, that's good. Let's go a little bit. Let's put some on this one, and maybe highlight this one a bit. Okay. I'm going to take yellow, mix it with green. And I'm going to start highlighting. So this is a mid-tone. It's not really the highlight, the strong highlight. It's kind of a mid-tone. I'm using the corner of my brush. I'm not trying to make it look like anything. No, I'm not trying to make it look like a leaf or any, specific. I'm just kind of putting a shape that looks like a leaf. Oops, wow, this is big. That's okay. Okay. You know what? I'm going to zoom in a bit. Okay, this is better so you can see the brush stroke. I'm keeping my colors very simple. Sap green is the base color for the greens. I dip in it either a bit of red or a bit of blue or Payne's gray or a bit of yellow ochre just to change the color of the green. So far I'm using sap green with a bit of red in it and yellow. Let's change the color a bit. So I'm going to take yellow ochre now, change the color of the green, put it in this mixture here. You will not see a big difference in the color, but there is a slight difference. I'm not trying to show leaves everywhere, specific leaves, just a general kind of brush stroke, especially the ones on the side, because you want to keep as well the same thing. It's just in here. There are some that are more focused. You put more focus on and more emphasis on, and then there are the ones in the back that are kind of sitting there, not important, but just there for the color and the shape and the composition. So they're not all equally important. So this one is sitting in the back, and I'm not going to put too much color and detail on it. All right, now I have the greens everywhere. I'm just going to start adding a little bit of color, some reds and some purples, whatever color you like. It's up to you to put any color you like in there. Now, with this one here, it looks like she's preparing some kind of a bouquet in a vase. So I'm just going to do this like that, just for variety, not for anything else, not for a specific reason, just to make it look like this one is a bit different. Okay. All right. Now, since I have, actually before I do this, I'm just going to take some of the burnt sienna I have. I like to highlight the terracotta pots with orange instead of just white. Usually the terracotta pots are more kind of a faded, reddish, earthy orange. But I like them to make them a little bit more kind of orangey. Usually what I do is I take my burnt sienna, any burnt sienna, and I add orange to it. This is how I highlight it. Let's see if this one works. Light is coming from this side, from right to left. So I'm just going to highlight a bit, bottom part. Okay, it's good. This kind of earthy, orangey color is beautiful with all of the greens that we have. And one here. Let's take again a little bit of orange. Mix it with burnt sienna. Technically, I should be waiting a bit because it's lifting, but you know what? That's fine. It's okay. There. Doesn't have to be perfect. Actually, if it's not perfect, it's nicer. Boom. That's good. All right. I'm going to pause and then we will put the flowers on. Okay, so now I'm using red. This is cadmium red light. I'm going to put a tiny bit of green in it just to tone it down to make it darker. But oh, this is too dark. Okay. Medium tone. Doesn't have to be too dark. See it now. And again, with the corner of my brush, I'm going to put some reds. Let's put some red in here. And maybe a couple here. And this one. Okay, now I can take just red. Okay, mix it a bit with the darker color. And again, with the corner of my brush. Now with red, when you're putting something like this, you don't want to kind of separate them evenly. Just come out, make a bunch, and then kind of with the corner of your brush, put a little one here and there, just a tiny bit, a couple of small ones here and there, and then you have a bunch in a group in the center or here on the side. Just kind of place them in a way that they don't look like evenly placed around in the pot. Especially when you're working with cool colors. Warm colors. Jeez, warm colors. Again, here. A couple of big ones, small ones. Let's put a couple on right here. Okay, we're going to highlight the green so it will look great after. Okay, now we can let's put some yellow, but before we do that, put the one inside where you're welcome to put any color you like. If you like to put some purple, go for that. Go for it. Purple, blue, any color you like. Okay. With this orange, I'm going to add a little bit of yellow. Let's take white. Drop a couple of little white ones here and there, dots. That would be a nice. We should. I should add a bit of purple in here. This is pure red right now. Okay, let's move on to yellow. Or orange first, and then I'll put the yellow on top. Orange. Okay. Now I'm going to bring in more yellow and highlight these ones. Big, small, a bunch of different. I'm keeping an eye on the shape. Okay. Good. I'm going to use some purple. So I think a dioxazine purple will look good in here. And white. White is nice too. Let's put a tiny bit of green in the white. Tiny bit. This is a lot of white in here. A lot of white. And I'm taking a little bit of green in it. White on its own is a little bit too strong. white, Baxesian purple. Oops, sorry, can't see it right there. More white in my dioxazine purple. This is burnt sienna and white. And what I'm going to do is enhance the highlights. Oh, yeah, yeah. On the table top. Let's put a bit of orange in there. Bit of highlights. And let's put some bit of highlights, kind of highlight the top of the table. Okay. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do right now is add a strong highlight in green for the green part. Even adding a little bit of yellow and a little bit of white in my yellow. Some greens. And just kind of a hint of some green leaves in here. And that will give me a chance to adjust anything that needs to be adjusted in terms of composition or brush strokes. I love doing this, like kind of floating greens when I'm doing something like this. You're welcome to put whatever you like in there. Let's highlight a little bit this one in the back. I'm just going to use green and sap green and yellow. Okay, kind of a little bit here as well. You have a lot of time. Okay. All right. Let's work on the light. Okay, so let's take a bit of white and Payne's gray, and make my color. I'm making my color. It's right there, white and Payne's gray, and you see it's like kind of a watery. And I'm going to take with a round brush, create or paint a wire. And the reason I'm doing it with water, a lot of water, first of all, I want it to flow easily. I want the brush to flow easily. And the other thing is I don't want it to be thick. You don't want it to be heavy, and you don't want it to look like sitting there taking over. And when you glaze the color on, the color looks a lot less heavy, and it will dry a bit darker. Now this is right now, just because I have the Payne's gray, I'm mixing it with a tiny bit of white. And I'm going to do this. I think they're usually lower, but that's okay. And now I'm going to take yellow ochre, and let's put some yellow ochre in here. Actually, yellow ochre and orange. For the center, and we're going to be highlighting this. This is the center, so I'm not going out too much because I need to put some yellow around this, okay? We still have some yellow coming. So I'm adding a tiny bit of red in here too. Now, I'm going to take cadmium yellow light. To highlight all around the bulbs, I'm going to take cadmium yellow light first. I'm going to add a tiny bit of yellow ochre right there. And a tiny bit of red. All of this will show, even the red and orange that we put in first, it will still show. Although I'm going over it, but it will still show. See, it's drying darker. Okay, now let's take white, put it in with the yellow. Really like white and yellow. Cadmium yellow light and white. All right, I'm gonna soften this. This is a bit too much. With the same glaze I used. Yeah, that's better. So when you put a strong yellow and white in the center, this is the center of the bulb, and all around it would be kind of an orangey yellow for the glow, or for the bulb itself too. There. Okay. I can enhance or clean up this, or enhance it later on if I find, when it's dry, if I find that it's not bright enough, or because I can see it's drying a little bit muted, but that's okay. I mean, it doesn't have to be very bright. Okay, that's cute. Okay, all right, let's take a bit of that yellow, strong yellow, and put a couple in here. This is cadmium yellow light and white. Now everything is drying darker, or actually drying, so I can gauge if I need a bit of more yellow here and there. This yellow I'm putting in here will draw the attention to these pots in there, in this area here. Now, it's nice to kind of create a triangle. Of warm colors. So this is what I'm trying to do, a triangle of warm colors right there. Okay. Changing to a very small round brush. Doesn't have to be perfect. This is good. I'm gonna take again some white. A little bit of Payne's Gray. Tone down my white. And make it watery, not too thick. And I'm going to try to put some writing in here. You could put whatever you like. You could put anything that you would like to say in there.
For all occasions.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, yes. Jeez, I don't have room. Yes, I do. And I'm just going to put blah blah down underneath. Nothing. Prices, kinds of flowers you can get, all of the stuff.
The price is on the other side, that's right.
Yeah, something like that.
Is marked.
Okay. Ta-da! All right.
Okay. Now, please.
Yes.
White roll.
Yes.
Little bit of criticism.
Okay. I will pause and okay. So for not to end up with a circle, a heavy, strong circle. I mean, this is a circle right now here. But what the best thing to do is to have the edges fluffy. Fluff the edges. and then place your heavy ones kind of away from the edge. Most of the time, it's the edge that kind of defines that circle. If the edge is not clean and strong, strong brush strokes, and it's fluffy, then the circle is broken. You break the circle. Then, and sometimes in between, I add some green to like this one here. I add the green inside to break that circle. Break it with green. It works. Just make sure that even here, look at the edge here. Look at this one. All the edge right there, fluff. It's fluff. Okay, this project is done. It's a very cute, whimsical project. Really enjoyed it. Right?